Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. That almost sounded like let's get ready to rumble. Anyway, guys, yes, thank you guys for checking out the video today. And yesterday, when I was tearing chat apart, I needed to do that to showcase what they really are. But we are here to talk Pittsburgh Steelers football. We're here to talk Steelers and move on. And we're getting set up right now. It's my Monday, your Sunday afternoon. We have 4 days to go until the draft. And like I said, guys, I'm not a draft guy. You guys all know that, but it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting to be a Pittsburgh Steeler fan right now. If you guys are into baseball too, or love Pittsburgh sports, it's actually really exciting to be a Pittsburgh fan right now. The Pirates are doing really well. I don't watch baseball, but I see highlights. But I like seeing the Pittsburgh city, fire up, have fun, be excited, be energetic. And I think even with this draft too, the Steelers and the Omar Khan situation, how he's taking on his role as GM and Kenny Pickett's second year, all this stuff. It's really exciting to be a fan of Pittsburgh sports. Even on the Maulers, I do watch the Maulers too. I watched the Maulers in the USFL, so I'm trying to cover that a little bit, at least watch it, the highlights. They got shellacked in the game today where they couldn't even score a touchdown, but they're 0-2, right? But overall, it's fun right now to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. We got 4 days away from the draft, right? So I want to talk a few storylines. If you guys made it this far, make sure you hit the like, hit the sub, do all that stuff, do all the YouTube stuff. Try and promote this video and get it out there to YouTube land as best you can. Try and give you my perspective of being an Australian fan, Steelers fan here in Australia with a different outlook on what I think of the Steelers, and you might see from the normal American content creators, and they're all fantastic except Chad. Not a big fan of Chad. Also repping today too, I got my Pickleball New South Wales solo shirt on here. It's actually it's black and I think it's black and orange. So I'm not supporting the Bengals, but I'll just call it black and gold. But it's sick. So I bought this the other day when I was at New South Wales Open. Now, what else? Okay, so we're talking about storylines, right? In no real particular order. And let me know in the comments below what you think some storylines are for the Pittsburgh Steelers coming into the draft, right? There's a few things we can talk about. There's a possibility the Steelers may trade up. Now, they were linked to Jalen Carter getting the Bears spot, trading up there to the 9th overall pick and using some picks to trade up, right? I've heard that storyline. That's a possibility. All these things are possibilities. I've also heard the Steelers have had rumors where they're trading back, where they might use the 32nd pick to trade back, or they could trade back the 17th pick a few spots back to get more draft picks in the second round or third round. That's a possibility, right? Here's the big thing, though. I do think one of my storylines, I actually think that the Steelers are dead set going to take best player available at 17, 32, and 49. I'm happy with that. If that is going to be Joe Porter Jr., falling at 17 and he's the best guy there, fantastic. If that is how the draft plays out and Breesy falls there as a defensive tackle, then I'm okay with that. I do trust the organization and whatever happens. So I think it's going to be quite exciting from that standpoint of the Steelers do have the 17th overall pick. It's not a bad thing. They can stay there, but if they want to trade up, they can. If they want to trade back, we might see it happen. The Steelers are in pretty much right now, they're in go mode. They've added 12 or 13 free agents, middle linebackers, corner, receiver now with Robinson, punter for quarter, for competition with Harvin, right? They've added all these players. So they're in go mode. They're in win now mode. They're in let's go win the North. Let's go and win 12 games. Let's give Kenny the best pieces around him and weapons. So I'm intrigued to see what happens, but I don't know what's going to happen. And I won't overall give you my prediction at 17 because I don't know. And just as important as 17 is 32 and 49, the first 3 picks. Another storyline is those first 3 picks, do they need to be overall starters? I don't know if they need to be overall starters. For instance, say you go and get a guy like Joey Porter Jr. Does he need to start? You do have Levi Wallace, who's like our second cornerback. You have Patrick Peterson, who's our number one, looks like. Do you need Joey Porter Jr. to start? Probably overly not. You want him to feed him into the rotation, right? So with those picks there, 17, 32, 49, I don't think you overall need them to start. But if you go and get some like outside linebacker depth, then fantastic. You get a guy in rotation. So I'm looking forward to that too. I just want to see who they pick and just see where they would, match up on the depth chart. Now, another storyline that I wanted to bring up too, and I got a few, so I'm jumping all over the shop, but I got a few things to cover. And this is my number 5th. I wrote about 5 down, but we'll go with this one right now. I've got a theory that offensive line right now it's not that important if they don't start day one. Right? I had a conversation with Dave Schofield from Steel Curtain Network yesterday on their podcast. So go check them out on audio. I think it was under the week that was in the Spotify and that kind of platform, right? And we talked about how if you get an offensive lineman, do they need to start? I'm kind of happy with Dan Moore. I think Dan Moore can still improve, and I think Dan Moore going to his 3rd year, that he's pretty much played every single snap on the left-hand side. Going to his 3rd year, he's played every game, started every game. I think he can improve. I think Siamalo at guard is going to be fantastic as well for this offense. Mason Cole, there's a lot of sites out there like Chat Sports. You will see the image all the time. They have James Daniels at center. But in my opinion, it's still going to be Mason Cole holding the football in the middle and snapping to Kenny Pickett. Then on the other side, James Daniels, I think he's going to be right guard, and Chooks. So if the Steelers do sign or draft O-line, I don't think it's that important they need to start day one. I think the guys we have in the locker room now that are 3rd-year players, 5-year players, Chooks been there 5 years or something like that. Siamalo's been there a long time, right? Some veteran guys on the O-line. I don't think we need a guy to fall at 17. Now, if you get a guy like Paris Johnson, which I've heard that name a million times, do you want him to start? I don't know. Maybe you can kind of like bleed him into the system, bleed him into the O-line. That was one thing I saw. Now, here's another thing. I got 2 more things to cover. 2 more to cover. Stay with me. Let's address the idea of 3rd quarterback. The Pittsburgh Steelers have Kenny Pickett. 100% he's going to start at number 1. He's by far, he will be the quarterback of the future and the quarterback of 2023. There is zero competition for Mitchell Trubisky. None. Okay. Now, I do think the Steelers are trying to keep Trubisky, though, because Omar Khan's been on record saying that they want. Omar Khan, and I think it was the Roonies, talked about Trubisky staying around for a very long time. That was on record. So if Trubisky is number 2, do the Steelers go into the draft and draft a quarterback in the later rounds and get number 3? However, I have no idea who that might be. Right, and my last storyline, guys, before I head on out of here, and you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Will the Steelers draft a running back or receiver in the later rounds? Because I feel like with 17, 32, and 49, the first 3, I think it's going to be cornerback, defensive line, and possibly offensive line. But in the later rounds, I feel like they're going to find a gem like they always do. Insert AB before we went crazy, 6th rounder. They're going to find a receiver there, or they're going to find a running back. And I feel like that might be a good play for the Steelers to do that. Kenny Pickett now has weapons with Deontay Pickens, Robinson. Hopefully, Miller and Austin can show out in camp. He has Freiermuth. He has Warren and Najee. The offense is looking pretty beefed up. But they might go on this draft too and get a running back in the later rounds because they haven't really got a 3 yet. Benny Snell hasn't signed the contract. Even Derek Watt hasn't signed the contract or hasn't been offered a contract as a free agent. Miles Boykin hasn't been given a contract either, right? Or either. So it could be a possibility with these storylines that the Steelers might go running back in the later rounds. Maybe like end of day 2, 3, right? So I don't know. Let me know, guys, what you guys think in the comments below. Anyways, I'm really excited. Hope you guys are excited. Hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday evening. Over the next few days, I will be obviously doing this video tomorrow we'll be doing a live stream and talking about the draft coming up, just a pre-game draft to see what we can expect or maybe be surprised by. Wednesday, I'll probably have a video coming out too. I might do my final pick at 17. I don't know just yet. And then I've got a members podcast coming up as well the night before. And then the day of the draft, we're doing live streams, videos. Yeah, I'm committing myself this week to pretty much try and cover everything as best I can. So you will see a lot of breaking news here with the picks, discussion, all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. The Steelers Nation right now should be very excited for this team. They went 9-8. They won the last 4 games in a row. Kenny Pickett is the truth. He's the guy that can take this franchise maybe to the next level and go and win some playoff games. I know he's only a rookie, but I have high hopes for him. And we just got to see what happens. Trust in Omar Khan and trust in Mike Tomlin. And hopefully the Steelers are on their way to going and appearing in a playoff game and winning that playoff game. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. I'll catch you later.